Buongiorno and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Arlene Antoinette Gibbs. I am an American who has lived in Italy since 2008. I currently live in Rome, but I'm actually moving before the end of the year. More on that some other time. But today I'm going to talk about moving to Italy. And instead of doing one long video, I thought it would be a good idea to break it up into different subjects. So today we're going to talk about the why. Let's start at the beginning. I think this is an important step because we're so focused on the how to move to Italy. And I get it because there are a lot of questions. Which visa is the right visa? What's a permesso di soggiorno? All these things. And we're so busy trying to keep the plate spinning in the air that we don't take the time to step back and think, okay, why are you moving to Italy? And keep in mind, everybody has their own reason for moving, and there's no right or wrong reason. So don't worry yourself with what other people say or do and what their reasons for moving to Italy. You have to focus on your reason and be brutally honest with yourself, because as we know, being on vacation somewhere and living somewhere, two very different things. Picking up everything that you know and moving to a foreign country, learning a new language, it's a new culture, moving away from your family and friends, maybe your job, unless you're like a company has moved you out here, but most likely you're not moving here for work. So all these things are difficult. And so if you don't have some kind of passion for being here, it's hard to navigate those peaks and valleys, I think, without it. If you've met someone, because there are quite a few Americans who are living in Italy because they met an Italian, either they met this person when they were on vacation here, or they met an Italian person who was in the States and they decided to come to Italy. I love love. That's what I write about, romantic comedies, romantic dramas. That's my genre. However, it's important to be practical as well. What are you going to do when you come here? Are you going to work? Do you speak the language? If you have children, are they going to an international English-speaking school, or are they going to a local Italian school? Do you know anybody in Italy other than your partner? Do you like Italy? Do you want to be here? These are all things to ask yourself. I met someone who, an American, who met her husband in Florence. They both were on vacation. He's not Italian, he's actually from another European country, but he works for an Italian company. And she decided to move here. And we were at this aperitivo event thing. And she said to me the only thing she knew about Italy was that people spoke Italian. Now, I don't know if it's the Virgo in me, but that's not enough information for me, personally. And this is the thing. Again, like I said, everybody has their reasons for moving. I listen and I do not judge. However, when you then proceed to spend the entire aperitivo complaining about Italy, not just the country, but the people, that's a little tough for me, because it's why are you angry with Italy because you didn't do your homework? All you knew about Italy is that people spoke Italian. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to pick up my entire life and move across the ocean without any information. I'm just not doing that. Okay. All right. That's just me. But again, the why. So I guess her why was she fell in love with this guy and she said, I am moving to Italy to be with my man. That is beautiful. But you know what? What happens if the relationship doesn't work out? What happens if you hit a rough patch? Then the first thing out of your mouth is you know what? I gave up everything for you. That's a lot of strain and stress to put on a relationship. So I suggest, before you make that leap, just ask yourself, what are you going to do when you get here? Because God forbid, what if something also happens to your Italian partner? Or you have children and the relationship doesn't work out, you get divorced, you can't leave the country unless the Italian person is going with you. So there's a lot. I've met quite a few women who, and I sympathize. It's tough. They are very unhappy because they feel stuck, they literally cannot leave. And it's not just an Italy thing. This happens in, there Americans in France, same thing, Germany, all over. So yeah, very important. Ask yourself why. Because once you have clarity on that question, I think it helps you make decisions about other questions. For example, where in Italy? Well, where you live in Italy has a lot to do with your why, right? Like if you are a retired person and you're moving to Italy because of quality of life, you don't need to work. Well, where you live, you have different options than somebody who is, maybe right out of university or is mid-career. They might make a different decision as to where to live because they have to work. So maybe living in a small town in the middle of nowhere, unless their work is online, they may need to live in a big city because there are more opportunities for them. So yes, just be very honest with yourself. And I would love to hear from you if you have moved to Italy already and you're still here. Let me know, why did you move to Italy, and has the reason for staying in Italy changed from your why? Because that can happen. You learn and you grow. You don't know what you don't know. Like once you move here, it will be different, right? And then you might make different decisions because you know the country better, and you know the culture better, and you know the language better. If you're thinking about moving to Italy, let me know why. I'm curious, and we can talk about it down below in the comments. I'm gonna try to post a video the first and third Sunday of the month to start. Please hit like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Ciao.